Morning YouTube, Halloween Hunters here for the next day. Getting a bit later start than I wanted to. Got a couple of the parts getting drying right now. Gonna start cleaning the headers here and the pistons, and some of the homies will come over later to help me out. I plan on starting the reassemble today. But lots of cleaning needs to be done. I went and bought some more stuff. I got some wire, some more cleaner. They had the pens on sale. Yeah. So we're pretty much good to go. Going to be cleaning. Let's see, these are clean. Really need a bigger table for this. These are clean. And I need to clean this guy today. So I'll take that out, get that ready to be cleaned. Actually, it looks pretty damn clean. Doesn't need too much. Okay, so there's been a few questions that I've gotten over the years and recently. One of the main ones that people always ask me is, what headers do you use? Now, they look kind of nasty right now. These are Sanderson long tubes. These are the only headers, aftermarket headers, that I have found that will fit on a commercial chassis from these years. You're gonna have to do a little bit of modifying. So, see this piece here, how it's cut? Zoom in. This, I had to grind this down a little bit. So you're gonna have to grind this piece down. It's not a big deal. And so for this driver's side, I grinded this piece down a little bit. And I also hammered this one with cylinder 1.3, cylinder 5's exhaust. I had to flatten this out just a little bit. I just tapped it with a hammer very lightly just to give it a little bit of a flatter spot to make this side fit. The other side fits easier, but you will need to cut out a little bit of this shielding here. So this cover plate here, as you see, has been cut. You can just remove it, I guess, but instead of removing it, I decided just to cut some of it away. I'm actually gonna get my grinder and clean that up. But that is what I had to do to make it fit. I've heard of people though that bought the Sandersons and didn't have to do anything to get it to fit. So, you know, you give it a try. I had to do this though when I was putting the headers on after the block was already installed. So that can make a difference as well, whether you're dropping it all at once or doing the headers after. So I'm going to get to cleaning. We are going to do a repaint. We're going to put some more paint in here. Probably do some more power washing. Because it looks like it didn't get fully clean. I need to put more degreaser in here. So I'm going to spray this, clean this. I'm going to clean the intake, clean the pistons, clean everything. And then we will continue filming. Somebody was asking about piston rings, so I'll do that too. Alrighty, so I'm going to do a quick, short demonstration of piston ring removal. On these, it should be pretty easy because they're not old. But if you get an old engine that's been sitting outside a long time, like I have torn apart before, it can be really tough to get these out. I suggest wearing good gloves because piston rings are very thin and very sharp. And when they're all oiled up, your hands slide very easily, and I used to not wear gloves and I would cut my hands up like crazy. So basically you're just gonna grab the piston and you're gonna want one of these. You don't need one of these, but it makes it easier. This is a piston ring spreader tool. And you're gonna push it. Sometimes it can be a pain. I mean, like this one's already coming off. But kind of push from the back to hold the piston so it doesn't, or the ring so it doesn't slide too much. You want to try to get an even grip with both sides of this. And once it's fully spread, you can lift it over like that. There you go. It's the same way when you put them on. And then there's going to be 2 more rings and then the oil catch ring right here. But yeah, pretty simple. Definitely recommend getting one of these tools. They're like $5 to $10 depending where you get them. Very handy. So I have a lot of cleaning to do, guys, so I'm going to jump back on it. Some parts are being painted, but a lot of cleaning to do. These pistons got dirty from sitting out, so there's dust all over them and debris from other parts I was cleaning that got on them. So I should have bagged them, but whatever, I can clean them up right now. So a lot of cleaning for me to do, so I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm done cleaning the pistons. I have them soaking in this nice degreaser soapy bath. Then I have them over here where I clean them up a little bit. Next I will power wash them and then hit them with a little bit of WD so that there's no flash rusting anywhere. The block is pretty much cleaned and ready. Let's see, I just power washed the intake and degreased it, so that'll be ready to be painted. And those parts are pretty much done and dry. The headers are drying. Got those hanging there, cleaned those up and painted them. We're looking good for a rebuild probably later today. Still gotta do the oil pan. One of my friends who builds engines more than me is gonna come by later. We're gonna have a little barbecue, hang out, some of the homies, and he's gonna look over the heads, make sure they're good. Other than that, we're looking good. We should be able to start building it tonight, or I say tonight, but probably in a few hours. And what else do I want to show you guys? This is coming out very nice. I've shown this paint before, but this is one of my favorite metal paints right here. This stuff is very nice. As you can see how nice and glossy it is. These have the high heat matte black on them. They look pretty good. I mean, they were looking pretty gross. I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna coat these until the can is empty. And then got to finish painting this. It looks like it's pretty much dry enough to paint. And then I will probably do the wiring tomorrow. What's made me really upset is this weather. It's like 55, 60 degrees right now, a little chilly, and it's not what I signed up for, man. I took this week off of work, which is why there's a video being posted every day of me working on this. So yeah, it was supposed to be 75 clear skies all week, and it's been like 55 cloudy skies, overcast. And that pisses me off, but I guess it is what it is, right? So I'm just gonna keep cleaning, and I guess we'll start filming when we go to assemble this thing. But we just want to make sure everything is as clean as possible before we start to build. Good morning. It is the next day, and the pistons are back in the block. They look good. Doubled and triple checked everything to make sure that they're perfect. They're not perfectly clean, as you can see, but they are as clean as I could get. It's hard to get in those little corners like that, but I do need to clean some more stuff. But I started the wiring. So we had a problem. Don't know if this is mentioned in the video already, but the gaskets, the gasket kit they sent, the head gasket was cracked. It was in pieces. So, can't use that. It's the most important, probably, gasket in the whole damn kit. And it was bent. Like when they put it in the box flat and then they fold the box for shipping, it got in the crack and it folded with the box. So that was great. And so I took it back and I said, hey, this thing's smashed. Need a new one. They said, okay, no problem. We can have it here by tomorrow, which would be today. And then they said, oh, never mind. The nearest gasket kit is in Phoenix, Arizona. The soonest we can get it here is by Friday around 2:30 p.m. And I'm like, well, that's great. I was hoping to have this thing pretty much done. These are those Wago clips I talked about earlier. They're cool. All right, so we won't be getting the gasket kit until tomorrow, so we can't finish building the engine until tomorrow. So I decided today, which it was a shitty day this morning, but now the sun is finally out. The skies have cleared. It's looking good. So I'm more excited now. So I've been doing wiring this morning, and I bought a new soldering iron because of like 5 or 6 that I have, none of them want to get hot enough. Even this brand new nice one I bought for like $100. It says it's at 760 degrees, but it won't even melt the solder. So I'll probably return it because it's from Amazon. So I went and bought one of the best brands you can get, Weller, for solder. This one was like $60, $45, something like that, Home Depot. And I'm so glad I bought it. It's actually been doing great melting the solder. So I have all the new wires wired to the main harness. Now I need to solder them to the other half of the harness. So that's what I'm going to do next. I might shoot a little bit more paint in here and do a little sanding cleanup because some of it looks ugly, like that over there. So I'm going to finish wiring it. And then what else will I do today? We picked up the transmission. But they did everything. Full seals, all new O-rings, gaskets. She's ready to go. So that's good. Other than that, everything's been going well. Homies came and helped me do the pistons yesterday. Everything is Loctited and torqued to spec. Intake has been cleaned. Oil pan's been cleaned. Everything is clean. But what sucks is now I have to finish building this whole motor tomorrow night. Basically. Oh, the other things, the starter. The starter was so effed up. I just took it to AutoZone right now to get tested, and it blew up their start tester machine. The guy hooked it up, and it clicked, and I saw a bunch of sparks inside that little box, and he's like, oh, that's weird. And then he messed with the ground, and he rehooked it up, and he ran the test again, and it went, jong, 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 and it just fucking killed his start tester. Crazy. The headers came out nice matte black. Apparently there's an actual break-in process for this paint that says on the can where it's like, run your engine at this temperature for 10 minutes and then turn it off. Once it gets down to this temperature, start the engine again, run till it hits this temperature, turn it off. I'm not doing all that, so if it burns off, whatever. Painted these up. Those are nice and dry and ready. And I'm going to clean the shop today as well, because it's just a horrible mess in here. Very unorganized. Found our good piston ring compressor here. This one was a little pricey. So, got that back. That's trash. Oh man. Okay, I'm going to jump back in the engine bay and keep wiring this bad boy up. Alrighty, y'all, I'm going to end the video here so we can get this posted up. You guys can see the update. I cleaned up the shop a little. Probably doesn't look like it much, but cleaned it up. Gonna gonna unload the transmission right now. Wiring harness is done. It's all down there, nice and heat shrinked and soldered, and the new soldering iron that I got worked really well, and we should be good to go. There's tons of main power wires on this thing. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's commercial. Maybe that's kind of just standard how commercial harnesses are, because usually you just have your main lead battery, and then there's the main hot lead for your main terminal hot, and then there's the ground, and then you have your two starter wires, your S and your R, the purple and yellow wire. So I don't know why that there's like 5 wires that go to the main hot, but that's the way it was wired and has been running for however many years. So that's what we're going to stick with. I still want to get some of this AC stuff off. I got a few of the hoses off already. I'm just going to start taking off a bunch of this unnecessary stuff, because I'm never going to put original AC or heat back in this car. If I ever put AC, it's going to be that newer, like, I don't know what they even call it, that new stuff that they're putting on the classic cars these days. So back to work for me. Tomorrow morning we are going to pick up the starter. Tomorrow we're going to pick up the gasket kit, which I pray doesn't have any broken gaskets in it. I really need it here tomorrow. This has already been pushed back a day now because of this. So you know what, I'll just go to the backyard, show you guys a quick 58 update, because it has changed a little since we last worked on that car. So let's go check that out. So as you see, the bumper's now off. I don't think I've shown this in any other videos. So the bumper's off. We're going to pull the motor and trans in a few weeks. It's not a high priority, like I said before, but I would just like to get it out of here. Just to get it out and clean this thing up more. I just want this thing stripped down. From there we can work on it. But see, like on this starter, you have well, they changed the color, but you have your purple and your yellow. That's for starting the car, your ignition. And then you have your hot lead right here, the red. And then you have your main lead from the battery. From the battery, then there's a jumper that goes, you know, to the alternator for charging. But that's about what normal starter harnesses are, 3 to 4 wires. Mine's got like 6 that go there, so could be a commercial thing. I'm not too sure. I've been reading the shop manual, but my shop manual is just a stock 70 Cadillac shop manual. I do have a commercial manual, but I don't know if it'll have anything to do with the starter in there. So I'll make some calls to some of my friends who should know and go from there. But repping the Graveyard Mafia up in here. So the bumper's off. This thing was heavy as fuck. I didn't realize how heavy they were going to be, but it's probably because of all this super thick, heavy hardware that bolts it up. All the bolts came off fairly easy except for 2. I did have to cut 2 bolts off. They were just too seized, but the rest came out pretty nice. Actually, like 3 or 4 of them came out by hand. The other 2 I did use the impact, but yeah, pretty good. So that's gonna do it for this video. I don't think I've gotten anything else. I'm done buying parts for the 58 for a while. I have a lot of other things that I need to spend my money on right now, like that truck. That truck causes me problems and it's just sitting there. So that's a big pile of debt right there that I don't want to get into. It was stressing me out today. A lot of paperwork crap, but whatever. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow. We finish building this engine, and then the next day when we drop it.